correct me if I'm wrong, but the broad stroke of Witness, which is this incredible second record from you, but the broad stroke is that you left the country and went to Mexico to sort of get away from everything that was happening here. But once you were there, you realized that you were, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth on this part, but you were missing the opportunity to be a part of this and actually voice your opinion.
Well, I mean, I guess that is the story behind, I guess, Witness, the main song on the album,
Okay.
the title track. But I mean, that's not what the rest of the album is about. It's been a little weird, I guess, because I wrote a statement for that song when we released it, the first single, and I guess people just thought that the whole album was like about the same thing. But no, I mean the rest of the album. I mean, I was in Mexico writing it, but I mean the rest of the album wasn't about politics or anything like that. I think that the rest of the album was just about just trying to be a better person and to I don't know, take action, I guess, to just like improve yourself. So they're related, I guess, a little bit, but what you said was correct. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, there is a line in there, and it's so hard not to center in on it. Right early in the record when you say you sing, I need to believe in something, right or wrong, and whether or not that's political or personal or both. I mean, that's sort of an incredible statement, I guess, especially in today's climate.
Yeah, I did. I honestly didn't. When I was writing this song, I really wasn't thinking about politics or the president or anything like that. But it's interesting to me that that's immediately, I guess, because of what's going on, that's what people are hearing, which I don't mind that kind of thing at all. People interpreting songs different ways. But I guess I was coming from more of a just trying to capture that feeling of, I guess, complete like isolation and being alone and just like on your own, where you just like you want to be a part of something, but you don't feel like you have anywhere to go. So that's what I was trying to say. It's just like that feeling of just like, I don't care what group I have to join. I just like can't be on my own anymore, kind of thing. But I guess that does relate to politics in some ways,
And there is a song. Is it the same song or a different song? You actually repeat that word isolation several times, right?
So yeah, so I mean, like if you take that and the other song Isolation and the trip to Mexico and all of these things, I think that you start to see like what was going on.
The snapshot of your life. That's fun. Kind of, I was thinking about that, regardless, being in Mexico and especially just you being on tour, like you've been on a very long tour, I'm seeing at this point, and it's taken you everywhere. And I know that can even further the whole isolation point, just, one town to the next. But, as you're going out, and especially in other countries, and you're suddenly the American abroad, here you are singing a song like Witness, or even, being an American at a time where, we are in this whole era that we're in right now and things. And when you're in these other countries playing and singing these songs, I mean, I don't know if resistance is the word I'm looking for. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but just really felt that fish out of water feeling, or that or on the opposite, that you're representing something and speaking for something, whether it's a movement or just, or just a reflectiveness of what's happening out there.
The response, honestly, has been good everywhere that we've done. I mean, like, it's not just like I think a song like that, like Witness, and like it wasn't just like about being black or like that experience. I mean, it was just like about something bigger. So like, I mean, I've had people from all different kinds of backgrounds just telling me that song meant something to them, because the song isn't about just like, this is what you're doing to black people. It's about just having something in front of your face and just like deciding to like say, hey, like, I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. Like I've got to do something about this. It's just about not being like passive and just participating. You know what I mean? It's just about being like present and active in your life and not just like going through the motions, kind of thing. So I think that's something that people from wherever can relate to.
And I know, all props go to Mavis Staples as well for helping out on that. I felt like there was a moment where it was just like Mavis for hire. I don't know if that's what she was doing this year.
She was on the Gorillaz record. She was on the Arcade Fire song. She was like, yeah, she was really out. But it's crazy. I didn't know any of that when we were working together last year. There was no. I had written a song for her last album, so I just asked her to be on this. But I think that it's honestly been a crazy year for her. I saw her a couple years ago perform in London, and then I was just in London recently and saw her again, and the show was like 4 times as big. It's like I think she's 78, and it's just like now she's like growing, like she's just like getting bigger now.
Finally
It's
hitting the
crazy.
stride. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's just insane that you can have that kind of just like a year where you're just like just everywhere at 78 years old. It's just
Right.
like insane. She's as relevant as anybody. She's on all these cool albums. It's crazy.
I mean, I was thinking all of those that you mentioned, like we played. I bet we added more songs featuring Mavis Staples in 1 year than we did for most artists who we went like deep on their record for, their own records.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's really great. She's special. I think that she always has liked to kind of just like do things that are a little like risky, Like they when she was singing with the Staple Singers, they did like the soul kind of thing and kind of like left the gospel thing. And she worked with Prince in the '80s, and like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of like a risk taker kind of like living on the edge kind of thing to Mavis that I don't know if people see all the time.
yeah, are you taking notes?
Oh, from her? Yeah, definitely. I mean, talking to her, working on the first record was honestly like a huge part of, I guess my thinking going into this album, like I was not in a good place, and I talked to her, and she was telling me that she was just at the point in her life where she just wanted to hang out with her family and her friends and to just like enjoy life and be present and those kinds of things. And she was like, that's all that I care about right now. So we ended up writing a song about that kind of thing. But I mean, like, I didn't really understand, I guess, that at that point in my life. I don't know. I think that I hadn't made the decision, I guess, to decide, like, okay, like, what kind of person do I want to be, like, what kind of life do I want to live? So I think that I just had to make that decision, and I wanted to go more in the direction of Mavis.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the album was about, also.
Yeah, there's a I know I'm pretty sure I think this was supposed to be a joke, but the image that you just posted on Facebook recently of your tour, what's left on the tour, and there's some little doodles at the bottom, and there's a book that's called How to Be Famous.
Yeah, I'm just being silly. Yeah.
I put that in there with what you were saying right there anyway, of deciding who you want to be, and I get that you're not doing this to become famous, although everybody wants to have a career, sure, but I get that that's not your end goal here.
Yeah, if I could, I mean, my ideal, I would like to be somebody like Tom Waits, somebody who like makes a good living, gets to do all the records that they want to do, and then also doesn't tour and spends time with their family. Tom Waits is living the dream, man.
Dude,
the dream.
There are few artists of that level. I mean, that's like the top of the top of the top. So.
I know. Well, it took him like 30 years to get there, so I got a long time if I wanted it. Okay.
Doesn't have to happen overnight. You keep
right.
making records like this, though, it is going to happen, and I seriously do mean that. It's just like, most artists, they don't pull that off, and I know it's been said, you came out and you had a really great debut record, and the pressure mounts, or whatever, you have to rush it out, and I know labels are sometimes like, oh, this is successful, hurry, do it quick, and the second one ends up just being, sort of more of the first one, and for yours to have just a nearly completely different sound. I mean, it's obviously you, but this isn't that first record music-wise, and to do to do it lyrically is one thing, but what did you have to do mentally to change that up musically too?
I think that what happened was just that the label, first of all, I guess, was very good about not pushing me to do anything. So there was never one single conversation where it was like, "Hey, where's your album coming?" Like, nobody ever said that. And I was gone for like a year, just like not talking about anything, like not talking about making music or anything. So they were always kind of the people who said to me like, just when the songs are ready kind of thing. So I never had the pressure to just like kind of like produce something. It was just like I think that they know that I couldn't work like that. It's just like, if you want something that's going to mean something, because I think that that's what the people that listen to my music like. It's just like you just gotta wait until we're ready. But for the sound this time, I think that I was just listening to way different stuff than I was when I first was making the first album, and I was also just in a different place. I think that the first time was more aggressive and kind of just like not as focused and a little more chaotic. But I think that that's just a reflective of like the place where I was at the time. And I think that what you're hearing, the difference is kind of just like the difference in me and my personal life. You're just hearing a more relaxed kind of record, a more like a contemplative kind of record, like that kind of thing. I think it's just the changes in my life are directly related to the sounds that you're hearing. But I mean, I started listening, I guess, to like a bunch of like African music from the 70s, like Nigerian kind of like funk kind of like stuff. So if you listen to the record, there's like it's like secretly funky. So listen to the to the drum stuff. That, and I was listening to this, in particular, this Sly and the Family Stone album called Fresh, which was like hugely. It was just a big deal to me. I guess that record like really just like changed a lot of things for me. And then Sam, the producer that I was working with on this record, was just also somebody who just I knew that he could take the things that I liked and that I brought him and just make it better. So I mean, it's really a lot of it comes down to just working with him as a producer. Because I listened to him for it was one of those things where like I didn't know who I was going to work with, and I listened to him for an album that he had made, this Kevin Morby record. I heard 30 seconds of it, and I was like, this is the dude. Like I was like, this is the guy. So
I appreciate you also writing the title of of this interview right there, where it says Benjamin Booker secretly funky.
It's well, I mean, it's just like it's when you listen to that Sly and the Family Stone record, it's not like the James Brown kind of like thing, you know what I mean? It's not just like going to be like a dance party, but like I mean, like there's like deep grooves in there, you know what I mean? It's just like oof. You feel it like when you listen to it.
No, it's definitely noticeable what you got going on this time around, and I love it. I love the record, man. I'm obviously gushing.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you.
And whenever that next one comes too. But thanks for the update here. It was really a pleasure talking to you, dude.
Yeah, good to talk to you too. Take it easy. Have a good day, man.
You too, man. Take care. Bye.
All right.